So the next full moon will be very interesting and very, very decisive in so many ways, especially here in Hawaii, on the so-called Big Island, where I am using the mountain Mauna. That is for me, that is the Neville of the world, and so that is the point for which I actually make these particular horoscopes for the full moon and the new moons, because they are happening in different houses. Yeah. What I don't know yet as an astrologer, but I will research it, if there are other places on Earth and where they are that have at the exact same pattern. There are possibly, but I don't know. I don't know if that is so or not. But so here, what is so interesting also was already the last new moon was happening in Gemini, the first air sign, and it's a very intellectual sign. The air is the element of thoughts, of communication. And so we had already one new moon somewhere here in the beginning of Gemini, and it was also in the third house, and the third house is an equivalent to Gemini. And there, the theme is learning, small traveling, but for me it's mostly about learning. It is about exchanging information. For me, it's the journalist in the zodiac is in Gemini, and now at this particular full moon, which will happen exactly on the 23rd degree, and I will look for the Sabian symbol of that day. I will add it written down on my post in Facebook. And there we have this wonderful trine, 120 degree angle to Saturn. And Saturn is in the 11th house, which is an equivalent to Aquarius, and is also in Aquarius. That's the one beautiful thing right here, that now almost every house is equivalent to the sign. It is equivalent to, no, it is not equivalent. Sorry, every house is exactly at the sign it is equivalent to here. That is very, very interesting. And it had already been almost the case for at the last reading I did for the new moon, was also in Gemini. So now here, it's about communication, it's about fact knowledge. And it's in opposition to the last fire sign, where it is about philosophy, where it's about ideals, about wisdom. Yeah, this is here. The element of fire is in service of all that is, and for me that's the priest. Yeah, here is the journalist in Gemini, and opposing as a fire sign is the philosopher, is the priest, and so that is the opposition here that we have. Here is the moon as the female force here, and forms a beautiful sextile that is 60 degree, also to Saturn. Saturn, the master of karma, in Aquarius, where he is, he or she is making order. No disorder is allowed in this great hotel, on this great stage that we call the world, and Saturn makes sure Yeah, there is the 11th house is about the collective. Yeah, the 10th house is about the public, and here it's the whole, it's the collective. And that's why everybody talks about the age of Aquarius, and that hopefully things will be better for the collective. First of all, we don't know if it really will be better. Secondly, the age of Aquarius is not starting as fast as you wish. It's still a little bit. We are still in the time of Pisces, and we have to understand to balance polarities. That's all what Pisces is for. You see, in Pisces, you have the symbol. Here, you have a different symbol, but you have the two fish that are opposing each other. Yeah, you know that symbol for Pisces. You have seen it. But what you have in Aquarius, you have two waves that go parallel. So there, the energy is flowing nicely, and it is understood that the polarities are necessary for all kinds of life to exist. Otherwise, there would be nothing without polarities, and it's so that is actually the theme of Aquarius. But this first has to be learned. We have to evolve as human beings to be able to let the contradictions dance, and instead of letting polarities fight against each other, also within our own selves, not only not only between the reds and the blues, or the bad and the good and what have you, but also internally we are fighting, yeah, very often. So that is part of our learning process here. So now next full moon is kind of a harvest time, because we will be able to make the critical masses, the critical collective, understand in very clear terms, because it's also about communication, with fact knowledge and the proper idealism. So as here now, a journalistic, positive, truthful force can come into the world and explain in clear words, there can be success in whatever field success is sought for. And in our case is to protect the sacredness of our Earth Mother. That's that's our aim. And so we can expect success. Why? Because also now the sign rising is in Aries, and Aries is the first fire sign, and Aries is all about I, me, and myself. But it is although we have a beautiful conjunction of Chiron and Mars, Chiron the wounded healer, and Mars the go-getter. Aggressor is such an aggressive word. It has such a negative connotation. I call the Mars is the go-getter. Mars becomes very furious and very angry and destructive if he gets obstacles, but otherwise he's just a go-getter. So, but this is happening in the 12th house. The 12th house is equivalent with Pisces. And so here we still have an overlapping Pisces, and we have the one planet that is most at home in Pisces, the ocean, is Neptune. Neptune is the god of the ocean, right? And so here we still have this Pisces atmosphere by having very much ego force, very strong ego forces in the 12th house. So what's going to happen is, for us here who are very, very serious about the healing process of our Earth Mother and ourselves, because that's one of the same, uh, of course, that no, we have to be we have to be active and we have to be aggressive in our own healing process. Only then are we able to be partners to others. Yeah, and that's our karma. We have to look where we haven't been careful with ourselves, where we have not been in balance, da 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 da. So clean up in front of our in our own house. Yeah, this is, and being active with that, passionate about it. So that is one of the things that is coming up, and it's very 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 much favored by the moon and also by the sun. Yeah. So here we have another sextile here, sun, and here trine to this wonderful conjunction, and it is very very close to the sign rising. So you can see how very very impossible. Sorry, I just got this stupid message. Sorry. Um, uh, uh, how it is very, very possible now for us to clean house. And what it leads to is that here, the first house, yeah, from here to here, um, uh, uh, there is the second house. Here's the first house. So in the first house, you have the karmic aim in the form of the North Node is in conjunction with Venus. Venus is at home in Taurus. That's her summer house. That's why people want to marry in the May season, yeah, in Taurus season, when the sun is there. So, but that is May, yeah, cherry blossoms, and oh, it's all so beautiful. And so now the Venus is now next to the karmic aim, and very close is also Uranus. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to stop this bling. Stop. I'm sorry for the noise. Um, so so that is helping us tremendously. And then Mercury is now in the beginning of Mercury, and that's where in the beginning of Gemini, and that's where he is most at home. Yeah, the fast guy. Mercury is very fast, especially with words, and so now you have a wonderful triangle between Mercury in sextile to the ultra compassionate, loving, unconditionally loving Neptune, and the great transformer, the cosmic Mars, Pluto. See this triangle here? Beautiful. And meaning, and then the whole thing is in the second house. Now this is for all Hawaiians who say Hawaiian lands and Hawaiian hands. Not because Hawaiians are greedy, not at all, but because they know how to love and to treat the land the very best. Period. That's why we need a Hawaiian government in Hawaii as a center of world healing. And this can be very well explained. And it can very well explained for the meek that will inherit the earth why they need to get this earth now, this land now. Because if they don't, the land is dying. It's very simple. And so we have very fantastic chances next full moon. It's like a harvest of something long coming. Long coming. And I belong to the generation where some of us have been struggling and fighting and doing nothing else and sacrificing for nothing else than that. And now we are getting chance.